Need a car, need it bad, Need something better than what you had. Not sure what you want or where to go. Well, there's one place that you need to know. SVG is the place for me, where you get superior value guaranteed.
Getting a big tax return? Then keep it. Because here in Greenville, you can drive a new Silverado with zero down for $289 a month. That's right, zero, nada, nothing. Silverado double cab, $289 only in Greenville. Now that's a great commercial. You've seen commercials like that all the time from dealers that are talking about leasing. Well, I'm Steve Vangorder, president of SVG Chevrolet and SVG Motors, and I want to define, explain leasing, because these deals that come on television, you need to pay attention because they're not always available, and when they come out with a great lease, it's time to take action if you're looking for a new vehicle. So let's explain leasing. Where do I start? Well, I'll tell you. In my opinion, there's three reasons why a lot of people, the three main reasons that I see why people think leasing isn't right for them. Number one, the objections to lease. Number one, most people say, I never own. You never own the vehicle. Well, that's true. But those of you that are buying these vehicles and you're trading every couple 2 or 3 years, you never own the vehicle either. Yes, you bought the vehicle, but I'll challenge you this. Don't make 3 payments on that vehicle and you'll find out real quick who owns that vehicle. Yeah, that's right. The bank owns the vehicle. Until you pay that vehicle off, the bank owns the vehicle. So owning the vehicle really isn't all that it's cracked out to being. Number two, second reason why a lot of people talk about not wanting to lease, they drive too many miles. Well, let me speak to that. If you bought a vehicle and the typical person in Ohio drives around 15,000 miles a year. So suppose you drive 20,000 miles a year. Well, if the average Joe drives a vehicle 3 years and he does 15,000 miles a year, he brings that vehicle back with 45,000 miles when he's ready to trade it in. And then the guy that's driving 20,000 miles a year, he brings his in after 3 years and his car has 60,000 miles. So I'll ask you this, which vehicle, same year, same make, same model vehicle, which vehicle is worth more? The one with 45,000 miles or the one with 60,000 miles? Well, obviously, the one with 45,000 miles is worth more money. So when you trade a vehicle in that's got 60,000 miles, the value of that trade-in is a little bit less. Okay, so it's no different. What you need to do is plan ahead. So if you know about how many miles you're driving, you plan your lease for that. In almost every scenario, you will save thousands by leasing rather than buying. And the number 3 reason, and in my opinion, it is the biggest reason. I'll say to somebody, hey, let me show you what you can lease this vehicle for. And right away they go, no way, not me, I don't lease, and I ask them why. And then I get that look. I just don't lease. Well, but why don't you lease? And they just don't understand leasing. And that's what it is. They just don't understand. And I'm gonna guess that the vast majority of the people that don't lease, the reason why they don't is because they don't fully understand what leasing is about. And that's why I felt imperative that it was time to share with you what is leasing, why is leasing, in my opinion, the best way to own a vehicle or to drive a vehicle. I say own a vehicle, but it's the best way to drive a vehicle for the least amount of money out of your pocket. This is Steve.
Hey Steve, John Eggenbrode, how you doing?
Hey John, how's it going?
Hey, I'm just following up on our conversation about me buying a truck from you.
You need a basic truck or something a little nicer?
Yeah, Yeah, just something simple.
Don't have to be something real big.
Basic truck, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I got the perfect truck for you. Now, this thing's not basic. It's got some extras.
Really?
This thing's got leather. It's got everything. Heated seats, sunroof, heated steering wheel. This thing vibrates your butt if you drive off the road and you didn't intend to. This thing does it all.
Really?
It's called the High Country.
High country.
I've always wanted to be in high country.
You'll take it?
Huh, I'll take the truck. Let's do it.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you a little bit later.
On my way.
Bye.
He's gonna love this truck.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to
how are
SVG
you?
Chevrolet. I'm doing well. Can I help you find someone specific?
for Steve.
All right, hold on a second. Let me go find him for you. Hey, there he is.
Hey, John, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, good to see you. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. You ready for a truck?
I'm ready for a great deal on the truck.
Hey, what do you think about the...
I love those colors.
Huh?
I love those shoes.
Yeah, well, you know, I want you to be able to see me from the street.
Well, I can sure do that. All right.
Hey, I got that truck ready for us. Let's go take a look at
Good.
it. Come on out.
All right.
Hey, John, I listen, I can't tell you thanks enough. I appreciate
Thank you.
Yeah, no. You know, you passed several dealers to come all the way out here, and it means so much. But not only that, but everything else you've done. Our friendship means a lot, and I got a little something for you. This is my way of saying thank you. What do you think about those?
Boy, I can climb a lot of mountains. Those are awesome. Those are awesome shoes.
Hey,
I love them.
that's our colors, man.
I love that color orange.
It's bright. Nobody's gonna miss you.
Well, I mean, hey, I'll have the babies on in no time.
Yeah.
These are great. When do I go to work?
Anytime you want. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Works for me.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, seriously, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's nice to have somebody who takes care of you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
John, here you go.
All right. I'm
There's
ready.
your keys.
Ready
Congratulations.
to rock and roll.
Hey, thank you very
Hey,
much.
thank you for everything.
Sincerely, I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate it. Nice
All right.
to visit with you.
Yes. Hey, I want to say something. This gentleman's a good friend of mine and a veteran from the Marine Corps, and you have a grandson now that's a Marine.
Hoorah.
Hoorah! So anyway, thank you so much. It means so much that you came out here and did business with us, and thank you very much. Anything you need, you let me know.
I'll be sending people your way, I guarantee it.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Take care. Well, it's time to get back to the leasing, so we're gonna need you to put your thinking caps back on and tune in. So I'm gonna use, since I'm a Chevrolet dealer and one of my favorite vehicles is the 2015 Chevy Silverado. They are awesome, and they're all over the road. You see them everywhere. Well, guess what? A 2015 Silverado, double cab, four-wheel drive, I can see it in my mind, black with the 22-inch wheels. It's got the seat, this thing's loaded. Good looking truck. Well, guess how much that truck is? $45,000. Somewhere in that range. A 2015 loaded Silverado is about $45,000. Well, that's a big price. That's a big price. And it equates to a large monthly payment. But you know what? There's a lot of people who are driving those vehicles today, and I'm gonna give you two different scenarios. Let's do it. Over here, this is the Lease. And he has a $45,000 Silverado. And over here is the Buy. And he's got a $45,000 Silverado. Okay? So, which is the right way to do this? Well, what would a monthly payment be on a $45,000 vehicle? Now, rule of thumb oftentimes is $16 to $20 per thousand, depending on the term and how long you finance. But so on a monthly payment of, what would a monthly payment be to purchase that vehicle at $20 a thousand? You're looking at somewhere between $700 and $900 a month to buy that Silverado. Big payment, but people are doing it every day. To lease that vehicle, I'm going to tell you that you could lease that vehicle for $400 to $550 a month. Depending on miles and term that you do on the lease, these are variables. This is what you're looking at to lease the vehicle and to buy the vehicle. All right, I'm going to simplify this a little bit and just break it down to its simplest term. Let's say that this individual over here is leasing the vehicle and it's $500 a month with no money down. And then this individual over here is paying $750 a month to buy that exact same Silverado. Let's see who's in a better position. Okay, this guy drives this vehicle and he pays $750 a month for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years. And depending on how he goes out, maybe even 6 years of monthly payments at $750 a month. And then this guy over here is paying 1, 2, 3 years, and he's paying $500 a month. Okay, so what's the scenario look like? Well, first of all, what does this guy what does he owe at the end of the lease? That's right, nothing. Assuming that you bring the vehicle back with the base mileage. They allow you 15,000 miles per year. That's the standard lease, 15,000 miles a year. For many people, that's more miles than they need, okay? So for 15,000 miles a year at the end of this lease, if you bring the vehicle back with 45,000 miles and in moderate condition where the vehicle hasn't been beaten up, you owe nothing on the vehicle. Over here, after 3 years, $750 a month after 3 years, you still have 3 more years of $750 per month. How much is that? Well, so $27,000. And here's the situation. This person has paid how much extra? He's paid an additional $250 per month. For what? For the right to say that I own that truck. Well, good for you. You also own $250 more than this guy did, okay? This guy saved $9,000. This person saved $9,000 over the course of 3 years. This guy brings the truck back with 45,000 miles. This guy brings the truck back with 45,000 miles. But yet the argument is, you know what? I've got nothing to show for it. I think you do. I think we've proven you've got plenty to show for it. All right, we thought we'd give you a little break on the lease talk and go into the next segment. But stay tuned, we're going to get back to the leasing. And for those of you that have any questions, feel free to email me personally at steve@svgmotors.com. We got it right here on the screen. Shoot me an email with any questions you might have, or if you want more details about particular vehicles. But check out this next segment. We'll get back to the leasing.
So it's a typical day here at SVG Motors. Just got done eating lunch, and in comes a really good customer. I had no idea the connection we were going to have, but as soon as we shook hands, I knew he was going to be a great guy.
My name is Sydney, and this is my son Jaden. And we're here at the Inglewood SVG Motors, Superior Value and Guarantee. And I got to meet Mr. Steve Vangorder today and Mrs. Keiko. And Mrs. Keiko was very knowledgeable. And the reason why I came here, hi baby girl, and this is Milan. But the reason why I came here today was because I needed a car. I needed an efficient car. I also needed a car that could get me from point to B and A, B through Z, because I have multiple careers: engineering, technician, artist, also hobbies and music and everything like that. And I needed a car that I could put a lot of miles on.
He wanted a car that he knew was going to last. So I pointed him to a car that was, you know, just a few dollars more, and it had cuckoo less miles, and it just fit well underneath his budget, and we worked everything out, and it was just a great connection from the start. He was very entertaining. He got to meet Steve.
For years and years, my family has always seen Mr. Steve, and they've admired him, and not only his work ethic, but his professionalism. And just how ironic it is that I got a chance to come here and actually meet him. I was very impressed by that. And I like the fact that, and in some of the fields I work in, you sometimes don't get to see people be themselves in TV. So to come here and see people that you've seen on TV, and every single one of these people, I've seen them on either a commercial or their show that airs on several channels. It blew me away that they were so personable, especially Miss Keiko. I told her what I was looking for, but then when I got here, my mind got kind of lost in the prices and the ranges, and I wanted something economical. I know I wanted something nice, of course, who doesn't, but I wanted something economical.
So I sit him down and I'm showing him all our options online, and all he's looking at is the price, and I'm telling him, if you want a car that's gonna last, just to pay a couple extra dollars, you're gonna want something with under 100,000 miles, and it's gonna last you years. And that's what we got.
And she wasn't very aggressive with me. I've been to some dealerships where they push the envelope. Once they get you on the hook, they're ready to reel you in. She gave me the option to walk away at any time. And I would tell anybody who came here that not only will you get superior value when you get here, but you also will get a guarantee. The car I'm about to walk away with is a Impala, and barely even 30,000 miles on the car.
I wanted to make sure that he got a very reliable vehicle. I mean, he's a busy guy. He works 3 jobs, and then he's got his own hobby he does on the side. I mean, he's a busy guy all the way around, and he was very well entertaining. That's for sure.
Just thinking about Keiko, I just like to tell her thank you for that, and Mr. Steve Vangorder, I appreciate the type of people that you've brought into your services and your career, because I see now that a lot of people don't know where they may be led to in life, but I mean, to meet good people everywhere you go, especially, I haven't met one person that hasn't helped me here in some form, whether it be something to drink, just customer service-wise, or making sure that my kids were cool.
Hi, my name's Keiko. I'm here with Cindy. He just brought his 2012 Chevy Impala from SVG Motors. Thank you so much for coming in. What was it like being here?
I enjoyed the time. Just thank you so much. I like to tell SVG Motors and staff, thank you again. You've made my day, my night, and my year. So from now on, I think it's not only my day, but pretty much my night, as you can see. And thank you for the bucks. I'd like to tell you for that. Thank you for allowing my kids to get their coloring book game on. And Mr. Steve Vangorder, thank you to your staff as well. And Keiko, thank you.
Hey, thank you, and thanks for being such good little kids.
And I guess this is the part where we're gonna give her a group hug. Come on, bring it in. Thank you. I'd like to say one more time to Mr. Steve Vangorder, thank you, and this is superior value guarantee at its finest.
You know, you've heard of Carfax. Suppose you were in a bad car accident with this vehicle, and one that you were okay, but the vehicle suffered tremendous damage, but not enough damage to total the vehicle out. And you took it to your body shop and they got it repaired and they fixed this vehicle back to new. Well, guess what? That accident report stays with the vehicle. If you own this vehicle and that Carfax is still on that vehicle, when you go to sell it or go to trade it in, they're going to see that. The dealer's going to see it when you go to trade it in, or you may disclose that when you go to sell it. What do you think that's going to do to the value? it's going to hurt the value, because when you go to sell it, they're going to want to know that. Over here, at the end of the lease, it doesn't matter. As long as you got the vehicle fixed and repaired back to factory settings, the vehicle goes back and there's no damage to you. So let's talk a little bit more about what do you have at the end of this lease. There's 3 terms that I want to share with you that for a lot of people, these are lease terms, lease vocabulary that can be very difficult because people don't understand. They've never heard these terms. Number 1 term that you hear a lot of in leasing is residual. Number 2 term is acquisition fee. And another term that you hear a lot is money factor. And these are terms that are unique to leasing, okay? Residual. Now I'm gonna tell you in Steve's layman terms what these mean, okay? In my opinion, they shouldn't call it residual, they should call it trade-in. Because that's pretty much what it is. The residual is what the vehicle trade-in value will be at the end of the lease. Acquisition fee is nothing more than a loan fee. Or better said, a lease fee. Why they have to use that long term, I don't know. And then money factor is the cost of using the money, or an interest rate. Slightly different because it's figured a little differently, but very similar. And the great thing about leasing is the reason why the lease payments are always so much lower, almost always so much lower, is because the money factor is near zero. The manufacturers, whether it's Chevrolet or Ford or Nissan or whomever, they want you to lease their vehicles because they know that if you get into the lease cycle, you typically will release with that same manufacturer. Don't have to, but that's what they hope for. Okay, so that being said, residual value is the trade-in, acquisition, loan fee, money factor, interest rate. Let's dissect this lease. So, how do they come up with this $500 a month? Where do they come up with that $500? Well, first of all, you can negotiate on a lease just like you negotiate on a buy. You can go into the dealership, make a deal on that lease, but here's what's set in stone: the residual, or the trade-in value. Typically, on a 3-year lease, you see about 50%, okay? So the residual is 50% of MSRP, and that percentage is the same whether you buy the truck in Greenville, Ohio, or you buy it in Austin, Texas, or in Honolulu, Hawaii, because it's set by the manufacturer. Chevrolet says, all right, a 2015 double cab Chevy Silverado the residual is 50%. Well, guess what? The residual on these Silverado trucks is much higher than that. It's closer to 60%. But for the sake of simplicity, I want to explain how this leasing works. So when they say, okay, Silverado double cab truck, 50% of the MSRP. So the trade-in value, or the residual as they like to call it, is $22,500. That is your trade-in value at the end of the lease. So you drive this vehicle, and what you're doing is you're paying the difference between your discounted price down to that residual, the trade-in value. And now we're talking about a lot less money, aren't we? And that's how you're seeing these low payments at $500 a month. Now here's where it gets a little bit fun, okay? The average lease is 15,000 miles per year. But the manufacturers, they say, okay, guess what? We can lower that monthly payment if you don't drive as many miles. If you drive 12,000 miles a year, they may say, okay, the residual isn't 50%, it's 53%. And what does that do to the trade-in value? It raises it. So now it's 25,000. And what does that do to the monthly payment? Because now you're financing a smaller number because the trade-in's higher and where you're selling price is a little bit higher. So the difference is smaller, and that's how you get a lower payment. And they've now got leases, what they call ultra low mile leases, where you can go to 10,000 miles a year. And guess what? That raises that residual even higher yet, and does what to the monthly payment? You got it. It lowers the monthly payment. Now here's the best part about leasing. At the end of 3 years, you have some options. More options than what you had if you bought it. Remember what I said about that Carfax? You had a bad accident and they got it fixed? Well, you may not want to keep that vehicle. So at the end of the lease, you walk into the Chevrolet dealership and you say, hey Steve, love the truck, it was a beautiful truck, it protected us in a bad accident, but you know what, we don't want it. Here's it back. You can turn it in. Number 2 option. You can say, I love the truck and I don't want to give it back. I'm gonna buy it for that residual value. $22,500. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Can you work me up some payments on that so that I can go ahead and buy this vehicle? You can buy the truck. Number 3. You can say, love the truck, but you know what? There's a new body style out and it is kick. You know what? It is sweet, good looking truck, better gas mileage. I want that truck now. Work me up another lease. I want one just like it, but I want the new cool one with all the cool features. This one drives itself. Who knows? You may want to release. Or last, and this is my favorite, and this is what very few people do, is you can sell the truck. You heard me right. So at the end of the lease, as you approach the end of the lease, you know that you've got 3-4 payments left, and you only have to pay them $22,500. But as you're flipping through the paper, or you're looking online at what the value of 3-year-old trucks with, say, 40,000 miles, and you're seeing them all selling for $25,000, $26,000, and yet you're about to give this truck back to General Motors for $22,500? No. So what do? You put that truck in the newspaper or online, take about 40 pictures of it, and we can help you do that. And guess what? You put that thing online for $25,000, and you sell the truck, and you can pocket the difference. Yes, you can pocket the difference. So, in my humble opinion, depending on the vehicle, there are so many great leases out there. And when you see some crazy guy on television going, you could lease this for $199 a month, $299 a month, $350, whatever it is, listen up, because there are great deals coming out. That Silverado lease is crazy good, but you can drive a new Chevy Cruze for $189 a month with nothing down, zero, nada, zilch. $189 a month only in Greenville. Greenville? Greenville? Greenville. Stop out to SVG Chevrolet, and if you need a better explanation, see me. I can sit down with you one-on-one if you've got any more questions. I'm telling you, in my humble opinion, leasing is the way to go. Come see us at SVG Chevrolet. Well, that wraps up another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. Just want to say thanks from the entire team at SVG Motors, and if you like what you saw in the episode, you can see more at SVG Motors YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and see a bunch of cool stuff. Also at Facebook, you can like us there and get more content there. So, see you next week right here, SVG Motors Weekly.